Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed about conspiracy theories surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The endless list of potential suspects. Conspiracy theories generally seem designed according to some reverse Occam's razor principle. Perhaps we could call it the law of diseconomy. Rather than looking for the explanation that requires the fewest assumptions, conspiracy theorists constantly multiply their assumptions well beyond the point of absurdity. The conspiracies surrounding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy are no exception, and in fact they may provide the best example of all of this practice. Depending on who you ask, the list of suspects of killing or plotting to kill Kennedy includes Fidel Castro, anti-Castro Cubans, members of the Mafia, the CIA, the FBI, the Secret Service, the KGB, future presidents Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, and George H.W. Bush, and pretty much anyone else whose name isn't Lee Harvey Oswald. Why so many suspects? Well, that's down to the equally endless list of possible motives. Fidel Castro wanted to kill Kennedy because the U.S. had tried to kill him so many times. Anti-Castro Cubans were angry that Kennedy was being too soft on Castro. The Mafia was pissed off that Robert Kennedy was pursuing organized crime so vigorously as Attorney General, and also they had business interests with the anti-Castro Cubans to boot. And Johnson and Nixon and Bush and the various shadowy right-wing cabals that are also sometimes implicated in the Kennedy assassination, well, they all just didn't like the Kennedys. The point that most conspiracy theorists seem to miss is that it doesn't matter how many suspects with plausible sounding motives they can imagine if they can't show us evidence that can tell us what actually happened. In fact, that is the flaw in most of these attempts to tell us what actually happened: the lack of a coherent counter-narrative. So the Zionists, or the Soviets, or the Federal Reserve were actually behind the killing of Kennedy. But what did they do? What's the story? Who did what, when, where, why, and how do we know? See, this is why conspiracy theories are so poorly named. They're not actually theories. They're not actually alternative explanations to things. They're rather the unfounded paranoid suspicion that there must be an alternative explanation, and that if we only knew what it was, it would blow our minds. All conspiracy theories are like this, and it's one of the main reasons why I consider them to be silly and fit only for mockery, never for taking seriously. But the thing about the Kennedy conspiracy theories that makes them even more annoying than average is that they attract people who aren't normally conspiracy theorists. I can't even remember how many times I've heard someone, a friend, an acquaintance, a family member, someone not normally given to indulging in paranoid conspiracy theories, blithely assert that Oswald was a patsy and, let's just say, the CIA was really responsible for the Kennedy assassination, as though that mere assertion were a more satisfying explanation to them than the mainstream explanation. And the broader implications of that assertion, if true, either were judged to be of no real significance or, more likely, had never been considered at all. What is it about the Kennedy assassination conspiracy theories that attracts so many otherwise reasonable people? Well, I don't know, but I suspect it might have something to do with the fact that they combine to form the perfect storm of conspiracy theories. Just as 9/11 broke the brains of many people my age, 50 years ago the Kennedy assassination broke the brains of many of our parents and grandparents. They asked themselves the same questions that we asked after 9/11. Who could have done this? How could this happen? One of the results of that blind groping for meaning and more satisfying explanations is a tangled, knotted mess of conspiracy theories that, when taken as a whole, panders to every conceivable prejudice and fear and paranoid suspicion. big government or anti-government, globalist or isolationist, Zionist or anti-Semite, Cuba, CIA, FBI, Federal Reserve, New World Order, whatever your chosen boogeyman, there is a Kennedy assassination conspiracy theory to suit you. And if you'd rather believe that they were all in it together somehow, you can believe that too. These Kennedy conspiracy theories allow you to believe anything you want about the death of John Kennedy, anything except that a man with a rifle killed the president all by himself for reasons we may never fully understand. No, anything but that. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.